Hello. I wanted to speak just briefly today about what flower essences are and how they work. You'll hear lots of different stories. They work with emotional imbalances. They represent archetypal energies in nature. Those are all true, but I offer you this very simple definition because flower essences from nature have a certain simplicity, as does our very own soul. Flower essences stimulate our positive qualities. End of story. And in so doing, we become stronger, more actualized, more ourselves, and you could even capitalize the S there, more reaching our highest potential in this lifetime instead of holding it out in our future. It's something we can live right now. And what better way to learn about the essences than to hear a story about them? So I was sitting across from a woman who shared with me, first of all, that her husband was in the middle of a very, very difficult test. He's Italian, he's an artisan, a craftsman. He lays imported European tiles, he does landscaping, really quite a fine craftsman. And he was doing an outdoor landscaping job for a large American golfing club. He laid rocks, quite large as it sounded, and finished the job, and a staff member came out, a director, looked at the job and actually looked down his nose at it and was very displeased and said, "This isn't right. These rocks have to be moved." So the man, the craftsman, explained this was his training, this was his artwork, his own essence going into this job, and the rocks were placed this far apart. The complaint was no, they need to be a half-inch wider apart. It was not a pleasant situation. It was the end of the day. The man came home. And so what I suggested for him to take was coconut essence for 3 simple words: uplifted spiritual awareness, for him to be in his strength, his persevering energy. You could even think of the energy of an Olympic competitor who has many, not just hours, but years of training for those, 3 to 5 minutes of performing in the Olympics. And to not give up, to be steadfast, but to also hold that inner goal, of perhaps the gold. And so I recommended that her husband take the coconut essence. As soon as I mentioned the word, her jaw dropped, her face froze. You know what happens when the screen of a device freezes and the person is kind of stuck there. And she said, "You won't believe this, but yesterday, for the first time ever, my husband texted me and said, 'How's my little coconut?'" And here, that's the essence that's recommended for him. So he takes it. After the first night, he goes back to the job site and he tells her, "Amore, I went to the property and I took all my tools." And that was his way of saying that he was done with the job. The coconut essence had apparently ended the conflict, ended all the difficulties of a test that seemed too big for him. The way through that test, which is coconut essence's message, is, in his case, to leave the job and keep his dignity. So, on that note, I look forward to seeing you again in the near future. And if you have any questions, please write to us, and those will be included in our next session. info@ and then our website, spiritinnature.com with 2 hyphens, spirit-in-nature.com. Wishing for you perfect well-being.